Bulbs are one of the best ways to have a colorful spring garden, and now is the time to plant them to make sure your beautiful blooms come in April and May. That's the plan.
So Garden Guy DLK is here now with some tips for success. Think now for the benefit of spring. Hey, Dale.
Good morning. You might think that the gardening season's kind of wrapping up, especially when it comes to planting, but we're actually in prime gardening season, as you mentioned, when it comes to bulbs. And it's really the ultimate game of hide and seek. So if you've got kids at home, grandkids at home, it's a really fun gardening project because you get to plant now, maybe you forget where you plant them, and then in the spring you can kind of find all those big batches of color, which is really, really fun for kids gardening. And of course, you get the benefit of all those beautiful spring blooms as well. So at your favorite local garden shop right now, there are lots of different types of bulbs to choose from. I've got some of my favorites here. I absolutely love tulips because there's so many different colors and varieties. And the most important thing to remember when you're planting tulips is there is early, mid, and late. So you can kind of extend your bloom season, or if you want an early bloomer, do that, and then you're ready for all your other spring planting. Get them kind of out of the way and done a little bit earlier. Alliums is another great one to plant. These bloom a little bit later in June, but really spectacular in the garden. These big puffy purple flowers, really cool, great pollinator as well. And then you might not realize it, but fall, right about now, mid-October till the ground freezes, is an excellent time to plant garlic. And garlic is one of those great veggie plants that not only do you get the benefit of the garlic bulb itself, but you also get some great blooms as well. And planting garlic is really quite simple. You just break the cloves apart, and that's basically your bulb there. You plant this end down, this end up, and Bob's your uncle, away you go. Now, you do need to plant them, and what I like to do is plant them in mass. Mass color is always best. You can do that a couple of different ways. Digging a big kind of a trench like this is easy, and then also an auger that goes on your power drill is a great way to go around into the garden quick, in between all your hostas and shrubbery and all that kind of stuff, and get a lot of instant color that way in mass. But however you plant them, make sure there's lots of them together. That way you'll get the most powerful impact of color. And then as far as planting goes, really super easy. You want to make sure that your hole is about 3 times the size of the bulb. So with tulips, it's not too big of a hole. Make sure the pointy end is up. This is a sheath that's on the outside. I just leave that on. It's good extra protection. And then also I add in a little bit of bone meal, and these are really charged and ready to go, so they're going to bloom really no matter what. But anytime I get the chance to spread a little fertilizer around is really great in the garden. And then when these start to grow and they're done blooming, that will the fertilizer will charge the bulb as well. And then I'll just give that a little bit of a mix in there, and then it's just a simple matter of placing your bulbs. I like to pack them in nice and tight. That way, again, you get all that mass of color, and there really is something quite special and inspiring about all that really great early spring color. Once we've gone through all those long days of snow and brown and yuck. It's even a little bit cloudy out today. I almost feel like it's a little bit fallish, and it really is a great day to propel yourself into the garden and do a little bit of spring gardening. Whoop, there we go. So there's a couple of things that kind of get at the bulbs, particularly when you plant them. This is really why you want to plant them a little bit later in the fall, because squirrels and all those other critters want to kind of grab your bulbs as well, and that's no fun. So the bone meal in the bottom of the hole, that's actually a good little deterrent in itself. And then also what you can do, and I'll just lean over the back here and grab it, you can also lay down some poultry wire over the top of your bulbs and pin that down. That way all the little critters can't get their little claws and steal your bulbs. And even though these really are as cheap as chips, and that really allows you to plant lots of them, you really don't want those critters getting at your bulbs. Oh, this is so fun and so easy. Okay, so there's my little patch of bulbs. Now all I got to do is cover them back up, get my fertilizer out of the way. And it's almost like, oh, gently, gently, gently. It's almost like putting them to bed. And come spring, this is going to look so fantastic, so colorful, so bright. And what you can do with that early, mid, and late, you could do early, mid, and late all in the same hole. That way you get lots and lots of continual color. There we go. So they're all supercharged, super ready to go. I'm going to give this a good drink, let them settle in, and then come spring, you'll get those wonderful blooms. And if you want to put a little bit of Repels just on the top again, just for protection against squirrels, because they are going crazy right now at my house. They're all into all this stuff, so I got to sprinkle some of this around my bulbs. Oh, also, I forgot to mention daffodils. That's the other good one. And these, when planted now, these are great at repelling deer. Deer don't like them. So you can plant those. If you've got deer problems, plant some daffodils in the fall as well. There you go.
How do squirrels feel about daffodils?
They'll go after them too. They go after everything.
They go after everything.
But the deer don't get them.
Okay,
hey,
that's a
good
start.
stuff.
I'm just going to keep planting.
I know you said you were having fun. Fox would probably be okay if you just wanted to go ahead and fill that thing with tulips.
Yeah.
Turn it into like an arboretum
patio.
garden.
Thank you, Dale.